Hello everybody, welcome back to a new YouTube video, and it's actually week 1 of Trinity at Oxford now. So what that means is not that much for me, other than that we're technically in term time, but because of the way my course is structured, I don't actually have classes this term. So it's just all dissertation all the time, basically. So yeah, really what I'm working on. I do have a meeting with my supervisor this week, so we'll basically be discussing the primary text that I've selected and everything, so that should be good. After that, maybe I'll give you a recap of what I landed on after I discuss with her. So yeah, I don't know, I'm excited. It'll be good to get it cranking. I don't know, it feels, even though like technically I'll probably still have the same amount of time to like write it as I did on my course last year, it just feels so much faster. Because my course last year was 11.5 months. This course is technically 9 months. But in Trinity, I had to do like a practicum. So we had to do a placement with some kind of digital project at Oxford. So I was working on Taylor editions and like helping out with stuff at the Taylorian library. So that was when I was doing all the language learning stuff. Learned some German. Not really. I know how to say milk. But that is not how you pronounce it. That's just my pronunciation. It's very like in your throat, which I can't mimic that sound really. But anyway, so I had to that over Trinity, and they kind of like said, oh, you'll have like enough time. You'll have like this many hours on your practicum during the week, so you'll have time to work on your dissertation. Which isn't like entirely the case in practice. Like really, the practicum takes up the majority of your week, so you don't have a ton of time to do dissertation stuff. So by the time the practicum is over, kind of like mid-June, then we had dissertation, and our dissertation was due like August 7th, I think. So it really like practically was about the same amount of time, like basically a month and a half that was like completely dedicated to dis, but it just didn't feel as fast, whereas now I have until like June 24th, I think it is? Maybe 25th? It's like that week of June, week 9. So it is like technically about the same amount of time, and it's a perfectly reasonable amount of time to write the length of the dissertation, but it's just because it's like the big thing, so it's like, scary. Last year we'd also, with my supervisor, had structured it quite well for me to avoid me procrastinating. Because basically like ahead of each meeting, we were like, let's just have this next section done here. Because my dissertation was also like broken up into very neat sections last year, which I don't know that this one will, because it's like going to be more, I'd almost structured my one last year like more of a social sciences structure in terms of like the sections that I had, but it worked well for the topic. Whereas this year, where it is more of like kind of a mostly straight literary analysis, I just don't know that it will like work as neatly to do that. And I like, depending on what my supervisor wants to do, like her kind of style and stuff too. So I'll maybe try to just like break it into sections on my own to keep myself on track. Like in terms of like, okay, for myself, I know that I need to have like this much done by this date. That would probably be a good strategy for me. So I'm not just writing the entire 10,000, 12,000 word thing at once. But yeah, I mean, not that we could do that anyway. She'll definitely want to see like chunks of my writing in between, but you know what I mean. So that's my musings this morning, but it's gonna be a very nice sunny week at Oxford this week. So maybe I'll be like working outside a bit, hopefully. Do some of that, do some fun stuff. Today I don't really have anything planned. Other than that, I'm going to, I think, what am I talking about? I think I'll probably like go to a library or a cafe to work a bit this morning. And then actually Anika doesn't have dance this evening somehow. So we were talking about going to the Maudlin movie because she really wanted to go because it's a Studio Ghibli film. Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? I never know. And I actually did ask her about this a couple weeks ago, but I don't remember what she said. I'm pretty sure she said Ghibli. So we're seeing one of those. I don't remember which one it is. She told me this is kind of like a dark one to start with because I've never seen a Studio Ghibli movie before. And I was like, oh, yikes. But also I like kind of dark movies, so it should be fine. And she was like, that is a good point. So we'll go to that and it should be fun. I always like the Maudlin movies. Well, I don't always like the movies, but I like going. So that should be good. I think they're even like doing a talk about like wartime movies or something. I don't know. They're doing a longer talk ahead of this film tonight. So should be interesting. We'll probably grab dinner before we head to the actual movie. But yeah, good times. I did my blush a bit differently today because I feel like everyone's been doing the very like high blush placement. So that's what I usually do. I'm literally only wearing like my eye makeup and blush. I couldn't be bothered to do anything else. But I saw on TikTok people were talking about blush placement, and I mean this is just like normal blush, but they were calling it boyfriend blush. I don't know why. But it's just like more focused here. And people said it's supposed to look good on round faces, which I don't think my face is like round. My head's not round, but I have like cheeks, you know? So I don't know. I feel like it's decently flattering on my face shape. I also feel like I'm just picking up a lot of the red from my dress, so I look pinker. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking and just go. So I've made it out to the Uppbeat this morning because my tentative plan is that I have a bunch of like computer work to do this morning, so I'm going to try to do that at the library, and then afterwards it's supposed to be really nice out today, so I might try to go and do like, I have some readings in actual hard copy for once, so I might try to go to Uni Parks and do that there in the sun, which might be nice. And I also have like a meeting at Rhodes House kind of randomly because somehow they found out that I do this. So they asked if I wanted to do like a social media takeover thing on their Instagram one day in May. So I'm just meeting someone to talk about what that would entail and what they want me to do, so it should be fun. So I had my quick meeting at Rhodes House, which was good. It was just like, so I'm going to be doing an Instagram takeover on the Rhodes House social media on May 23rd. So check that out. I'll post stuff at the time about it. But yeah, basically they sometimes get scholars to like take over the stories, basically show their life at Oxford. So, oh, she did also tell me how she found out, I guess someone with Canadian Rhodes somehow knew, which I don't think I told anyone there that I was doing it because I met them like before we started here at the sailing weekend, so yeah, must just come up on their review page. I don't know, or they have Google alerts about us. I don't know, but yeah, found out about us. So I'll be doing that in May, which should be quite fun. I think it's gonna be good. I thought about just working outside at Rhodes House, but most of the tables were taken, so I just came to Uni Parks instead to read. So yeah, get some sunshine. Guys, so sorry, I'm very warm. I've made it back home. It's like just past 5 now, I think. So I was at Uni Parks for a while. I kind of just left when I got too hot and also hungry. So yeah, I'm a bit red right now because I got groceries on my way back, so I was carrying bags, but I just thought I'd show you my dress. Sorry, the lighting is a bit like gray or dark right now, and don't mind my clothes drying. But I got this at H&M the other day because I was walking by and thought I'd go in to see if they had any of the dresses that I'd seen online in store, because generally their in-store shopping is ass and online is quite good. Like, they have the best easy to wear casual summer dresses, in my opinion. And this one I hadn't seen online before, but I just grabbed it when I grabbed a couple of the other ones to try on. And I really like it. It's got like the kind of like 3 rows of smocking and this kind of neckline. Or like the, I don't know, the tie like elasticated neckline. And I really like the colors. Like, it's very pink with the little shots of green. And it actually hits me like just below mid-calf, like kind of above my ankle. Which for me, because I'm taller, like I'm 5'10", you don't like, it's hard to find things that are like long enough. And I prefer that length over like right at the knee because I think it's more flattering on your legs. But yeah, I really like it. It's good for like the really hot days, which we're getting now. Like, I also notice the humidity much worse in the summer here than I do in the winter. So even when it's like 21, 22 degrees, like it feels quite warm to me. So yeah. It's nice to get some sun, and that's my story. Hi guys, so it's Wednesday afternoon-ish today. So I've just been getting some stuff done here, but I was doing laundry and everything, so I'm just waiting for it to finish, and then I'm going to head out. Actually, so my course has like I think they're calling him a mentor. So he had just finished up his PhD last term, actually. He like did his defense and everything. So he's like a final year PhD who just kind of like is consulting on the course and like is helping coordinate stuff. So he's come to all of like our course things and is helping out. He's been really great, but this term, because we don't have like any classes or really anything to like bring us all together, he's organized these like shut up and write sessions. So basically for us all to like get together and work together to try to beat out the procrastination. So we've got one of those this afternoon. So I think I'm gonna go to that. It's gonna be at Balliol College. And yeah, just get some work done. Should be good. I really don't have anything else planned for the rest of the day. But today's already been a success because I managed to get Rhodes Ball tickets, and last year it was Phantom of the Opera themed, so I'd said like, oh, I can try to get a guest ticket. I think we each can only get like one. So I'll try to get one, and Anika had really wanted to come, but I was not able to get a guest ticket. They sold out like so fast. Tickets were kind of crazy last year for Rhodes Ball, but this year the theme is Under the Stars or something like that, and I did manage to get a guest ticket, so Anika will be able to come. So yeah, should be good. I was fighting for my life this morning trying to get her a ticket, so success. But yeah, that's gonna be really fun. That's at the like May 24th. It's near the end of the month. It's actually like the same day Megan and Mason are gonna get here to come visit, so it'll be a fun week. But yes, that's been my morning. But yeah, gonna head out. Another really nice sunny day today. This is the other H&M dress that I got. So I love the color and the neckline. Also just like a very easy throw on kind of thing. Also a good length on me. Quite like it. So yeah, check out H&M if you're looking for sundresses, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna run down and grab my laundry and then head out. Hi guys, it is so early. It's about 5 a.m. I'm just waiting to meet Anika and Chloe because today is May Day at Oxford. So basically on May 1st, everyone descends on the street around Magdalen Tower to hear a choir sing at like 6 a.m. A lot of people try to stay up the night before and just like wild out in the forest. I did not do that. I don't really know what the
I'm sure there's some religious significance to May Day, but I'm not like totally sure what it is. But yeah, we're just meeting up to head there. And basically you hear the hymns, you come back through Oxford and there's always like medieval dancing, people giving away like coffee and breakfast and stuff, so it's like a nice tradition. But yeah, Will's waking up very early, so.
So it's the next day now. I was not a very good vlogger yesterday because basically after May Day, nothing exciting happened. We tried to go get breakfast, but like everywhere was so packed, so we wound up just getting McDonald's breakfast and eating in the street. And then I came back here, slept for like another hour or two, and then was just working on stuff. So nothing very exciting happened. But yeah, today I have a meeting with my supervisor, so I'm gonna do that. It's at Worcester at 10:30. So I'm gonna have the meeting, and then afterwards, I'm not really sure, might have like a more chill Friday afternoon. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know if I'll go today because it is like a bit of a trek, but at some point over the next little bit, I'd like to go to Port Meadow because it is a bit farther away. And I don't actually know if they're there, but I'd like to see the horses because basically Port Meadow is like this park, and I don't know if it's kind of like a community pasture vibe because like I don't know who owns the cows. I think it's like a lot of people can put their cattle in there though. But then the horses, again, I'm not sure who owns them, if it's just like a council thing, but there are like wild horses in there. They're not really wild, you can pet them and everything. I would presume you just can't like ride them, or maybe they're not like technically owned by anyone, so they're wild, but they live in like a pasture. So, but yeah, you can go into the park and they're there, and it's just nice. And I haven't been in a very, very long time, so I would like to go at some point. Don't know if I'll go today though, or if I'll just maybe go to like uni parks again or something. We'll see. It's warm out again today, but not like as crazy warm as it has been the last couple of days, so we will see. But yeah, gonna head to Worcester, have a meeting with my supervisor. I'll let you know what like texts I've picked after, because I have like sent, here's what I'd like to do, but we'll see what she says, if she thinks it seems like a good idea or not. So yeah. guys, so it's kind of late afternoon now. I had my meeting with my supervisor. It was a pretty short meeting because like I haven't written anything yet, so like there's only so much I guess to talk about ahead of that. But basically the goal, so for this meeting I'd had to send like a couple page document like explaining my selection of primary texts. And basically I'd been supposed to be choosing between two kind of clusters of Arthurian romances. So one sort of more serious group, which included like a selection of books and episodes from Le Morte d'Arthur and Sir Gawain and the Green Knight primarily. And then a more kind of like comedic satirical cluster, which included less canonical works like The Squire of Low Degree and Undo Your Door, other Gawain texts that aren't like as big as Gawain and the Green Knight. And then Sir Landival, which is kind of like source texts are Sir Landfall, which is like an older Marie de France work. Like there's older versions of it, but then this kind of like later style or later text from it. But in my document, when I'd been trying to decide, I was like, what about both? Because my thinking had been that I was like more kind of interested in the comedic satirical text, but then I just kind of like panicked and was overthinking it, and I was like, but how can I talk about those as sort of like comedic works without placing them in conversation more directly with like the thing that they are kind of not poking fun at, but like kind of poking fun at. So I was like, all of them. So she said what I kind of expected, which was that is too many texts to do in a 10 to 12,000 word piece. So we kind of talked it through, and I think I'm going to narrow it down to just doing the more comedic ones, because she was like, you know, thinking you have to think about the dissertation as like a scholarly, like a critical article. And so like they don't exist in a vacuum, like it exists in conversation with like the other scholarship on it. So it's okay to talk about those things and like perhaps like in reference to some of the other like more canonical works, but like it doesn't need to be about those texts as well. Which is also good, because obviously doing Mallory or Gawain and the Green Knight, then once you're having to then look at all of the already published scholarly criticism on that, those texts really make it explode, whereas there's just less that's written directly about these other like lesser known, kind of like less, not important, but like less mainstream, for lack of a better word, that I can think of right now. Like we looked up The Squire of Low Degree on the International Medieval Bibliography, and there was like 10 citations, and I don't even think all of them were in English. So a lot less reading basically that you have to do about those things. So I'm excited, and I'm glad, because those are the ones that I was kind of more personally interested in, and I think will like lead to, I think will be like interesting with the themes that I want to address. So I'm excited. So I think I'm primarily going to focus now on like 3 to 4 texts, Squire of Low Degree, probably the marriage of Sir Gawain and Dame Ragnall, and then maybe Gawain and the Carl of Carlisle, and then Sir Landival, I think, are what I'm going to put together. So upcoming, it will just be reading a lot of those more direct critical sources, which I have like started doing and compiling and everything, but you know, really just sitting down and getting through them and starting to write, hopefully, at some point, which will be scary, but fine. So after having our short little meeting, I just wandered around Worcester for a bit, because you'll have seen it's so pretty right now. I hadn't been back to the college since things had really started blooming, so I absolutely love it. I think Worcester is one of my favorite colleges in terms of the grounds. I think the grounds are so pretty and the gardens are so nice. So it was nice to go and see it in the sunshine when things are blooming. And then I stopped by Pembroke for a bit, and then I was back here doing some stuff. So yeah, pretty chill day all in all. I also got these kind of fugly sandals. My foot looks huge there. I also got these kind of fugly sandals. They're from Timberland, but basically I had to admit defeat after last year, because last year all summer I just wore my flip-flops and this other really old pair of Gladiator sandals that I have that the strap is on the verge of breaking, and they're just not good when you're walking like 10,000 plus steps a day on cobblestones. They just don't hold up. So I had to admit defeat and get kind of like ugly walking sandals. And when I was, you know, doing my TikTok research about what sandals were good, everybody posts videos that are like, what sandals should I get for my European summer vacation? And everyone just says Birkenstocks or like Tevas. And I think that's how you say it, Tevas. And I looked them up. They're fine, but they're just like a bit too sporty for my vibe. So, and I can't wear Birkenstocks because, to be honest, I've just talked too much shit about them and how they're kind of ugly, which honestly I stand by because, okay, everyone back home, they wear 2 pairs of shoes. Everyone wears Blundstones in the winter, which I do like. I think those ones are cuter, and I know they're like really warm and are good. And then Birkenstocks, honestly, also all year round. Like every girl at U of S, you know what you're doing when you're wearing your Birkenstocks with socks. It's ugly, but I know that they would be really, really comfortable. But yeah, I talked too much smack about them, so now I can't wear them. So I just looked up a bunch of different shoes and I settled on these ones. So hopefully they're comfy and don't rub, but the buckle is a bit annoying because then you can't just slip them on and off, but they do seem like they'll be good. They're a bit cushiony and the sole is thick. When I first put them on, I thought they were maybe a bit heavy, but then when you had them on for a while, it's not too bad. And they're not like too stiff, so yeah, hopefully they'll be good because I can't wear sneakers all summer. My feet get too hot. So yeah, did those, had to admit defeat. They're not the cutest shoes. Would prefer some daintier straps, but I get it. So that's my update. Hi guys, so it is the next morning now. I'm actually heading out to meet my friend Tess and Anne Hui. We're gonna get coffee and catch up this morning, and then I don't know, I might sit outside and do some reading, hopefully, or do something. But tonight is one of Anika's dance recitals. She actually has her showcases like back to back this weekend. So today we're gonna go to her K-pop performance, and then tomorrow is her like Chinese dance groups showcase. So Eloise is coming out to stay the weekend, so she's gonna stay with me. So yeah, that's the general plan for today. Nothing really official until this evening, other than meeting up with Tess and Anne Hui this morning. But yeah, we're gonna go to Jericho Coffee Traders, which I actually haven't been to before. So excited to try that, but yeah, gonna head out. She's back again.
I like to preach it every week.
Yeah, just gotta make it in.
Yeah.
So it's Saturday now, or it's Sunday now actually. So sorry, I feel like the vlog the last few days has kind of gone like, because I've been busy with stuff, but just not busy with things to really like show. So yeah, sorry about that. But yesterday I met up with Tess, had a good chat at Jericho Coffee Traders, which is actually not in Jericho, it's on the high street. And I feel like it's one of those places, like I don't know anything about coffee. Don't really care, but it's one of the ones where people that are like into coffee are like, it's the only place to get good coffee. So it's one of those places that only has like 5 things on the menu and not one of them is a sugar cookie latte. So if you're into that kind of coffee, it's a good spot. And I think it's one that like Emma Watson has gotten seen in many times when she was here. I don't know if she's here right now. I know that she like, it had just come out a few weeks ago that she's going to be doing her DPhil, which is PhD in creative writing here. So I think she's starting that next year probably, but which kind of cool. I got a bit sidetracked there, but yeah, basically hung out with Eloise once she got in, and then we went to Anika's K-pop showcase, which was really fun. It's very like hip-hop inspired, I would say, K-pop dance. So that was cool to see Anika doing that because she's been so busy with dance the last little bit, so nice to see the results. But today we have another showcase recital kind of vibe for her Chinese dance group. So Eloise has gone out to to church and to meet a friend here, so I've just been working a bit, doing some stuff, and then I'm gonna go meet her later this afternoon and we're gonna do something, not really sure what, and then go to Anika's other dance. So yeah. Eloise and I are slightly pre-gaming Anika's Chinese showcase because we come to O'Neill's pub to get drinks ahead of time and chill. So
Yeah. Some curly fries and a cocktail each.
She said a woo-woo.
Can I get a woo-woo?
and a daiquiri. Yeah. That doesn't have anything special. Hello guys, I am home now. Eloise and I went to, we went to that pub and hung out a bit before, and then we went to Anika's Chinese recital. Really good, really cool. And then Eloise was catching a train later tonight, so we just came back, watched new episodes of Married at First Sight, and she just headed off. So I am in for the night now, basically. But yeah, I finally was able to get this pistachio chocolate bar that M&S has because I've been trying to buy this for like 2 weeks, but every time I went in there they didn't have it. I don't know, I think it's kind of like they're capitalizing on the Dubai chocolate trend, or like everything's pistachio now, but I don't even know how I found out about this, because I don't think I saw it online. I think maybe someone that I follow had like mentioned that M&S had a pistachio chocolate bar, so then I looked it up and it looks crazy, so I was like, I gotta buy it. But it's stupid expensive, but I think it's huge, so we'll try it. Oh. I thought it would have a wrapper, but it's just, how do you eat it then if it's not pieces? Oh my god, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. I was gonna be like, is it worth the 7 or 8 pounds? Probably not, but like, also yes. It's just like, it's really thick, and it's got all this pistachio cream with like little bits of pistachio, but then also a layer of caramel. Which honestly, it probably doesn't need the caramel, but it's also nice. So it's a lot, but oh yeah. That's nice. Can't be mad about that. I would recommend. I like pistachio. I really like pistachio cream. I've gotten into it the last like couple months. Or like pistachio stuff. Not pistachios themselves. I don't mind them as far as nuts go. Like they're one, I don't really like ever want to just like sit and eat nuts. But like pistachios were okay. Like they're quite salty and everything. But this kind of stuff is really good, and like I love like pistachio pastries. Waterstones Cafe often has this like pistachio cookie that has a bit of pistachio cream on the inside that's really good. But yeah, so yeah, I'm a fan because this like has some of the pistachios in the cream, so it's like that little bit of like salty crunchiness with the, this doesn't say salted caramel, it just says caramel. So maybe it's not salted caramel, maybe it's just the saltiness from the pistachios making it taste like that. But yeah, it is quite nice. So yeah, that is my excitement for the night. But I think I'm probably just gonna end the vlog here because really I just need to edit this video because I have not been editing it as I'm going, so it'll be a big one. And watching some Criminal Minds because that's what I've been watching the last couple days. I do really want to watch the new season of You, but I've been locked out of our Netflix because I'm overseas and it said no, no, no. So I can't really watch that. And then I also want to watch Maxton Hall because I know when it came out, I was like, I know I would like that. But I didn't watch it. And then my mom and my sister watched it and they were both like, yeah, you would enjoy this. So I would like to watch it. I had been saving it to watch during the break and then that didn't happen because the break was really busy because I was like essaying, and then also teaching, and then also was in Paris. So I just wasn't like, I'm gonna start a new show. And then lately I just haven't also started it, but I would like to watch that. I did also finish Good American Family, which it felt like it just kind of ended a bit abruptly. I know that it is kind of like telling the true story, or like it is kind of following the order of like real events. So maybe there was like only so much they could do, but I did feel like it maybe kind of ended in a bit of a weird spot. But I think it was good, and I think it was like pretty well acted, and I did like how they arranged it. Like I'd said in a different video where I was talking about it, like people were kind of reacting to it when the first few episodes were out and were like, why are they retelling this story? Like everyone knows now that like Natalia Grace was this kid who's been abused, so why are you like retelling this story but you're basically following the plot of The Orphan? Like, but the show is telling it from each of their perspectives, so it starts off telling Chris's story where Natalia seems like this like scary, like violent person, and then you're seeing like Natalia's POV, and even to a certain point Michael's, where you're actually seeing Natalia as she is, but particularly in Natalia's, obviously you're seeing it, and that is what makes up the majority of the show, I would say. It's like the first few episodes are that kind of setup, but then it goes back on it and you see that like that it's Christine is like sort of the active instigator, and then Michael being like also culpable. So I think that it was like fairly well done for that kind of story. But yeah, it was an interesting miniseries. I don't know. But I did think that the ending was maybe just a bit rushed or something. I don't know. It just felt like, oh, I thought there would be at least one more episode, kind of. Like, that's how I felt when it was over, so I thought it was okay. But yeah, that's it for me. So thank you for watching, and definitely watch next week's vlog because I've got some cool stuff coming up this week that I'm really excited for, particularly tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be fun because Anika and I are doing a couple things in London that have been on my bucket list for a long time, so should be good.